I'm here at the opening of Looking for the Light, a solo exhibition with Pascale Rentsch. And Pascale's here with me today. We're absolutely delighted to see you, Pascale. Welcome to Watermark Gallery again for a big solo show of your all new work. How does it feel to see all your new work up on the walls?
Do you know, it's just amazing to see them, because normally when I'm out in the field, I have all my stuff there, I do my paintings, I love what I do when I'm outside. I come home and they go into my studio on a shelf, and then I don't see them for a while till they go to the framers, and then the frames come back, and then when you see them, when you come in, when I just came in, it's just so nice to see them together. And it just fills me with so much joy and pride to see them all hung together. So thank you very much, Liz, for having me.
That's okay. It's a while since we've seen them as well, because obviously we choose them with you.
Yeah.
And then they go off to the framers after that. So it's all a process,
it's all a process.
That we go through.
For the very first, you know, when I go into the car and I take my materials and I'm sitting out there in the field and paint, and then all these different stages, and you're a part of the paintings, and the paintings are a part of you. So they mean a lot to you, because all in these paintings, every painting has a story. So they mean a lot to me, and I know all the time kind of how I felt and what was special at that time. So it's lovely to see them together.
And do you have a particular favourite painting that you like, or is there something that you would particularly like people to see as part of this show?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really fond of all of them because they all hold special memories to me. So one special memory is this one here. My mum was here visiting me, and we were sitting together. Well, my mum was sitting, I was standing, painting, and I had a sort of collapsible chair, and she was sitting there and was able just to watch me paint, and I could just gently just go along and have all my messy materials on the floor. But it was just a nice moment to share with my mum, because I don't obviously have the opportunity, because she lives in Switzerland. I don't have the time to say, Mum, do you come out painting with me? And she can just sit there and watch me. So it holds a lot of memory for me. So that's the one I would be choosing.
Brilliant. And I'm not really a massive fan of yellow in paintings, but I really love that piece.
And you know, it was so nice. I was there, it was like, and the mist came in. It was the most beautiful, calm, serene kind of happening that happened in front of me. And then obviously the gorse then starts to glow, because everything around it is dull.
And it really, the contrasts are really, really clear in it.
It's really lovely. Yeah, it's these things that really touch me, isn't it? It's like finding that feeling of something. And sometimes even I don't know what that feeling is. I just feel it.
But when you go out and you're painting outside, how do you pick the place that you're going to be? Because I mean, presumably you're in a beautiful place in East Lothian, or you're up in the Highlands, or you're any part of the coast that feature in these paintings. But how do you suddenly say, that's it, that's the spot?
It's very easy. It's an easy question, because it's always about my feeling. I go, I take my stuff, and I just walk. I just walk and I look, and if I feel it, that is where I set up, and it doesn't take long. You know, I just go out and there is something there that touches me, and that's the place I'm going to set up, because it touches me. And that's really important. Everything I paint is because there's a feeling in it, and I want to capture that feeling. And most of all is, sometimes when I paint, I have a feeling of that, what I see. But then I'm very curious, how can I put that on paper? How can I put that feeling I have of something so beautiful, how can I put that on a piece of paper? So I'm curious, because I don't know. So all I do is, okay, let's have a try. What if I do a little bit of this, and what do I do when I try this? And then it becomes a journey and a flow of things, and you go with it. And then it's the ultimate is when the painting is in control, not me. You want to not judge or think or, you know, right or left or this or that. You just want to go for it, and you just flow with it, and the painting takes you there. As soon as you think, it kills that flow, and that's the magic. I just absolutely love it. You know, you just feel such a freedom when you're there and you're with the painting. You become part of the whole thing. It's not thinking in your head. it's just wholeheartedly feeling, and that's what my work is all about.
One of the questions that I always get here in the gallery is, where are these paintings taken, and how long does it take Pascale to paint them? And when we look at your videos, we see, very quickly you get the lie of a particular painting, you map it all out. But how long do you think it takes you from start to finish when you say, actually, I'm happy with that?
So again, I go very open-minded. I don't have a set time. I just take as long as it takes for when the painting says that's enough. And again, it's a feeling, and then I know I need to stop. But if it's a big one, you're there for a few hours. If it's a smaller one, it can be quite quick, and it depends on what you want to depict as well. It can be even quicker, but all the work is done on the spot, and I finish it. Because if I go in the next day, that feeling that I had at that particular moment is not the same feeling that I will have I go back the next day, because maybe I didn't have a good sleep, or maybe things have cropped up, so you do feel a bit different. So I want to capture that moment, how I feel at that time, and that's what you're getting on the pieces. It's how I feel at that time, and capture that moment on a piece of paper.
So I wanted to ask you about the inspiration for this show, because when we talked about it quite a long time ago now, because we always plan things so far in advance, we started talking about the light, and then the title just sort of came out of our conversation. So tell me about what you were thinking when you started painting.
Yeah, you can look at it as like the very obvious light, looking for the light. You're looking for the sun, the light, the shadow, and that it's cast and all that. But for me, looking for the light, it's more about, it's just a bit deeper, and it's quite difficult to explain, because it could be a stone that's catching the light on the shore that catches my eye, and I find that very moving. Despite all the darkness around it, there's this spark of gold, and it gives me hope. I think whenever I go out in nature and I paint, I'm filled with hope, because no matter if it's windy and stormy and it's raining, the skylark is still singing, and that gives me hope. It's like, if he can still sing when it's going like, the weather is so bad, there is always hope, and I really find that in nature. And like with one of the paintings with the gorse, for instance, when the mist came in, everything is grey and dull and quiet, but because of that, the gorse, the flowers, they are even brighter. And that's the light, and that's the hope. And there's so many things. There's a painting just around the corner with wildflowers in it. And I went for a walk with my friend, actually. And I just happened to glance to my right, and I saw like just an area of patch that wasn't like a wasteland almost. And I just glanced in, and I saw these beautiful grasses just swaying in the wind, and a few red poppies. It is so... there's nothing there, but yet they managed to grow in this environment and give beauty. And the next day I went back and I painted that, because it really touched me. It's such a is it called desolated area, but yet beautiful things can happen. So no matter what happens in life, I think sometimes like that, a very parallel situation, there's always hope. You can always try and find the gold in the difficult bits.
And everything you do is outside.
Yeah.
All of your paintings are all outside.
Because I want to feel it. I want to be part of what's around me, and that influences me, and I become part of it. And that's very, very important, that I'm feeling it, and I want to express what I feel, and show it to the people. If I can touch somebody with what I have felt, then I am so proud of what I do. So this is your biggest solo show since you've been elected a member of the Royal Scottish Society of Painters in Watercolour. What a huge honour for you. I know. I'm absolutely delighted, and I know we've mentioned it before, but so pleased for you. What a prestigious award to have. Yeah, it's just, I feel very humbled, and I feel very touched by that. So it's such a privilege. and to be able to have been nominated and been accepted by the other members is a huge honour. So I feel really touched.
Well, very well done from us. Thank you so much for coming today. I know we eventually got here for the opening after having been snowed off last week, but I think everything looks amazing. We're really proud to have you as one of our artists,
thank you so
and
much,
thank you
Liz.
very, very much.
It's much appreciated.